Stanz, I wanted to talk to you about today's topic because I feel like you'll have a unique take and angle on this.
Love that.
Specifically as someone who is like a co-founder of Off-Brand and has a good idea of how expensive it can be to make high-quality productions and the struggle of working with brands and advertisers.
Yeah, no, totally. Okay, that's great.
So first of all, have you heard of Watcher? I'm
know a lot about Watcher. I'm going to give you like everything I know about Watcher so that you can maybe cross some things off your list.
You know a lot, do you?
A Watcher makes YouTube videos.
I'm writing down.
They are going to stop and do a subscription service, and then...
I'm writing that down.
Oopsies, maybe not.
Okay, hey, end of the video. We're done. It was great. Cue the outro music. We're
all
done.
There. And I think I've heard something about BuzzFeed.
So if you have a look on their most viewed videos, you will see...
Oh, it's a lot of ghost stuff. Holy moly.
So their Ghost Files series, which is with Shane and Ryan, they're like the main two for Watcher. As I'm sure you've seen from like the thumbnail and all the discourse online, there's three of them, right?
Yes,
there is Shane, there is Ryan, and there is Steven. So I've seen their Ghost File series before, and just to give you a little bit of context on who they are, I thought we'd watch a funny clip from one of their videos.
Oh, let's do it.
Now, Thomas likes to cause malfunctions for fun.
That's correct.
Sorry, is Thomas a ghost? Or is it that one of them?
Yeah, they're speaking to the ghost, Thomas.
Okay.
Placed right now, I'm just staring directly at your crotch.
Well, it's a good thing it's me and not you, because if we did it with you, there's a good chance one of the Medeas might pop out.
That's true.
Do you finish shaving a haircut, Thomas? Can you finish shaving a haircut for me? Thomas, this is the start of the investigation. You're not...
Give us something juicy.
You're not making us feel very welcome.
You know what? I'm going to give it to you. This does feel like exactly what I would do if I was in a haunted house. Like, hey, man... You like porn?
Much. Come on,
yeah, you know what I mean? Hey, what if I do a little dance for you? It's funny.
Knock for us.
Come on, Tommy, give us a knocker.
Show us your best knock. This is just the first location. We're just getting warmed up here. We're working our way up.
It's an appetizer.
This is a warm-up.
That's right.
And you know what? I'm feeling warm.
Okay, that's plenty.
See, showing him his balls. Am I meant to believe that he pulled a nut?
I don't know if you didn't hear that or you chose not to hear that. You need to rewind.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, that's plenty.
Fucking so stupid. I'm sorry. I just my mind was not primed for amazing content. That's okay. I get it. I see what the allure is.
You get their vibes. Well, as you quite rightly said, they are in some hot water right now because of a video they released 3 days ago titled Goodbye YouTube. Usually in these kind of situations, I would give you a bit more backstory on who the fuck these people are. Well, luckily, the video that has got them in hot water is also the perfect video to introduce you into who they are.
Oh, amazing.
It's like they knew that we would be covering this, so they did a little synopsis on who the fuck they are and where they've come from. So...
They made a video for me. Oh, it's the Ghost File. The little context I have going into this makes this so funny. Of like, we're quitting YouTube to fucking drain you of your hard-earned dollars. And like the sad music and sitting down is so funny to me.
Yeah, that's actually a really good point because I also got into this video and I'll be honest, I watched the first maybe 5 minutes of this video and I was like, how did they fuck it up so bad? It feels like I'm like on board. I'm agreeing with everything they're saying. This seems really positive and whatever. And then it kind of just takes a little bit of a turn that you can see why they thought it was a good idea, but it doesn't really stick the landing.
Got it.
So you let us know when you're no longer on board, basically.
Okay, so far I'm on board. It's like kind of artsy and they're all sitting down. It feels like the finale of Friends or something. You know what I mean? They're all going to go their separate ways.
I grew up on YouTube. All of my heroes were on YouTube. I learned how to be a human on YouTube. It's just tough because I've always really loved and cared about the YouTube community, so it's hard to leave.
Am I to understand that people didn't know what this video was about at this point? It's not like they released it with a tweet that was like, sign up for our fucking live streaming platform. So people are still thinking that they're just quitting YouTube?
Yeah, I guess so. I think at this point, people really didn't know. There was a tweet, but the tweet was a link to this video with the thumbnail of this video. So.
Got it. Yeah, they teased a huge announcement. Okay,
My name is Ryan Steven Vergara, and I'm part of Advanced Video Production.
Hello, I'm Professor Morris Ashley. Welcome to another exciting episode of Extreme Science.
I had no idea what to do for my intro Please don't stop watching.
I guess when I'm making things, it's when I feel the most alive.
But even before that, when I was at Northern, I was still making a bunch of dumb little videos. Plenty of dumb little videos.
Myself, Shane,
Okay,
Steven, we all came
so
from
all
BuzzFeed.
three of them so far have basically said we grew up on YouTube, we started our careers and our creative freedom on YouTube. We love YouTube.
Yeah, and it was like very meaningful to them as human beings. Like they wouldn't be who they are without it, so much so.
They're already setting up the fact that like it would take something huge to make leaving YouTube be like something worth their while, right?
Right, because it's so important to them, as they've said.
Exactly. It matters to them.
It feels like one of them's going to say that like, hey, John has cancer and so we're going to quit. You know, like no matter what they say, it's going to be, it feels like it's not going to be enough for the amount of pomp they've put into the beginning of this video.
BuzzFeed for me was like college.
I had a great time there. I was never very good at sort of chasing like viral stuff.
Why does asparagus make you? I think this is super viral. This shit seems dope.
What's crazy? It's so funny that you went, I think this is super viral.
Yeah.
Because what I was going to say when you paused is if you were working at BuzzFeed, this is the kind of shit you would make.
Yeah, for sure. This is me, dude. I'd be like, oh, hell
And
yeah.
then you're like, hey, I think this is great. And I'm like,
Why does
yeah,
asparagus
of
make your
course
pee stink?
You
dude?
think this is great,
It's
bro.
a cultural phenomenon. Everyone's making pee jokes about asparagus, but no one knows why. Maybe you crack a book one time, chat.
Steven and myself made something called Worth It and Unsolved, respectively.
That was when I went from like, oh, there's that Asian kid in the BuzzFeed video, to like, oh, that's Stephen Lim.
Wait, is
So-
Worth It where they have 3 different meals, a cheap one, a medium one, and a big one?
Yes, good.
I've
I'm
seen
glad
that.
you know of it. I was going to ask you, do you know that? That's what I was about to say. So perfect. That is Steven's series, and the Unsolved series is like Shane and Ryan's kind of thing that then led to stuff like the Ghost Files and things.
Got it. Yeah, Worth It was pretty good. I've actually seen an episode, and I feel like normies, like Worth It popped off amongst the normie crowd.
There was a fire in all three of us. We had something to prove. We had a passion for making.
This is still just autobiographical. It's still weird. I don't know what's happening at this point. They're just talking
Yeah,
about
they've said
themselves.
nothing. They're just
Yeah.
like, this is what we did.
I'm so proud of what we've built here at Watcher. My proudest moments have been being able to hire incredible people. So growing our staff from 3 to 6 to 10 to 20 to 25. I'm proud of
That's a lot of
the
people.
fans. that
Right,
we've
exactly. That is a
fostered.
very good
Maybe that-
point. That is a lot of people.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, they make big shows though. Sorry, not trying to zoom away, but like those series are not cheap, and it seems like they go on location. They use a full crew.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that are needing to work on stuff behind the scenes. This is something we'll touch on a little bit later. The main reason that people seem to really like Watcher is specifically Shane and Ryan and their dynamic and the shows that they're doing. It's like putting them in a fun place and watching them play off each other is the reason most people like Watcher.
Right. Okay, that makes sense.
And you can do that without the expensive production. And
Yeah, I mean, Shane and Ryan could do to Watcher what Watcher did to BuzzFeed. They could just, it's fucking Russian dolls all the way down, bro.
The audience that we've attracted are also weirdos in the most positive sense.
I'm very
Can I say something? They're not. They're not. That's a lie. I feel like their audience is the most normal people in the world. Am I crazy? I feel like this is I'm not crazy.
I think this is like hold up spork. I'm so quirky.
Yeah,
and
but
weird
it's
kind of
not.
vibe.
Like I have to
It's
imagine.
not actually weird.
Yeah, I would posit to say that they might have the most normal audience on all of YouTube as a whole. The exact opposite of what he's saying.
But it feels like we are just at the point where we've hit a bit of a ceiling in terms of what YouTube is able to offer.
More than 50% of our business is run by advertising. We're making something for 2 audiences. We're making it for the fans, all of you out there, and we're also making it to please the advertisers. It's difficult to make the stuff that we want to make and also then appeal to the advertisers as well.
That line, I heard that and I was like, I'd love to hear Stan's opinion on this because I'm assuming you've had to deal with a bunch of that, trying to get sponsors for shows and them having their own opinions on what kind of content that they're being the face of, the sponsor of. How is that professionally for you?
Yeah, I mean, I think I've told the story so many times that it would be tough to do again, but the Slim Jim...
Suck and fuck off?
The suck and fuck off. Thank you very much. And in fact, the Slim Jim suck and fuck off, if you don't know, was Slim Jim sponsored Ludwig in the early days of Off-Brand. I was like managing the campaign, and Ludwig and Slime went on a little bit of a tangent, a little bit of a riff, and they mentioned that the tiebreaker for this campaign that was sponsored would be a suck and fuck off, and whoever sucked and fucked the hardest would win the Slim Jim belt. And it's something that maybe Slim Jim didn't like. And it actually is at the core of what like Off-Brand was made to do, which is that there are people live streaming, making YouTube videos, like creating, it's funny that they talked about it in this way, where it's like the advertisers aren't going to like that. And our whole goal about being Off-Brand was how can we take a little bit of that edge and like bring it towards the advertisers, and then take the advertisers that were a little more like risque or wanted to be on like the forefront of that, on the pulse of it, and bring them towards someone who we felt was like unbelievably safe, if still not at least a bit edgy at the time, with Ludwig.
It seems like you guys took it in one direction. You like compromised both, made both sides compromise a little bit to make a product that you're happy with, rather than going their direction, which we will see in a second.
Yeah, we definitely did compromise on both sides, which, hey, you're not supposed to compromise for your artistic vision, but at a certain point, dollars are dollars, bro. These shows are expensive.
It does cost a certain amount. Like, for example, a Ghost Files episode. First, we have to travel to the location itself. We have to pay the location fee. We have to pay freelance staff that comes to help us shoot that when we're shooting in the studio. We have to pay for the studio to shoot the actual episode in. Then we have to pay for post. Before that, we also have to do the pre-production of the episode. And when you add that all up, we're talking about an end of a season that costs hundreds of thousands of dollars. I'm not sitting here complaining.
How many episodes do they do per season? Their stuff is
Like 6.
Yeah. Oh, that's very. I mean, dude, $200,000 6 episodes. That's honestly that's low. I would assume that this cost at least $500,000.
With the sets and the everything that he's
and travel and hiring people
stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
Which is like, we start first by looking at what we want to say and think about and talk about. And
This is so fun. Hey, I am not in a place to critique. I don't really know these people or watch that much about them, but hearing like we have a unique point of view and we never want to compromise on that vision. And the one clip I've seen being him like, hey, buddy, want some fart? It's like, bro, sure, dude.
Pulpit every now and then. It's
Yeah.
like,
It's like, hey, sure, man, say whatever you want to say, but like other people are getting it done. Mr. Beast is fucking buying towns. I don't know. I don't know, dude.
In terms of where this company is going and where I believe that we can be the most successful, YouTube is no longer the place for that.
For anybody.
Oh my god, that gulp is so. I think I'm jaded. Man, that feels like the
I
world's
don't think
fakest
you
thing
are.
I've ever seen.
Yeah, this whole video
I'm so
feels
scared.
like they're trying to emotionally manipulate you, right?
Yeah.
Like they've got you to this point where you're supposed to now feel like you're so right. You know, YouTube isn't the place for you.
You're being so brave, boys, and we're gonna follow you, and we're gonna do it. Yeah.
For that.
Oh, I'm so scared. Yeah.
The goal was always to make television caliber quality content.
Man, if I have to hear television caliber again, that's crazy. I feel it. Maybe I'm huffing like the cope of new media, but it's like, what does television quality even mean, dude? Why don't you make watcher quality shows? Right? Like, I don't understand why we keep comparing it to this. I guess so that you can talk about like the cost per episode. Because if you looked at the cost per episode of anything on TV, it'd obviously be extremely expensive.
Yeah, I think that actually is important because I think it shows the difference between what the people at Watcher want to do and what the fans actually want. They're focusing on TV-like quality and creating TV shows. Yeah. And the fans just want to see fucking Shane and Ryan goof around a bit.
Yeah, they want to see like
really
friends
shit about any of
do
this.
funny things and have fun with each other.
Yeah. Like, sure, it costs a lot of money to go on Thingy and do the pre-production and do blah, blah, blah. But if you just turn up with a fucking iPhone and Shane and Ryan, the audience would enjoy it just as much. You don't have to spend all of the money that they're doing it. They can if they want to, but it's not like the audience aren't asking for that.
Right. Yeah, I doubt, and I don't want to speak for like the audience, but I don't think the audience are like, ooh, this could have spent a little more time in pre-production, huh, buddy? Like, ooh, this color grading? Yeah. I can't believe you used that light.
If anything, that is probably more for advertisers, right? That looks good for the mainstream, the like old media that would be like, damn, I want to give my money to these people because that looks good, right?
Yeah, I mean, if you compare it to, like, they send their Mystery Files episode to an advertiser, and XQC sends XQC Stream Compilation number 7, and it's like, oh, look at us. We're so polished and buttoned up, and this is nice, and you can trust that we're spending your money in an effective way.
Yeah.
But for you guys, I guess we just hope you guys follow us this one last time.
It's bad.
Thank you. Okay. These people have an audience and they are beloved and stuff, but holy shit, dog. How do you make content on the internet for a decade and not watch this through and go, we're going to get killed. We are going to get absolutely murdered. We're just hoping you trust us again. It's like, dude, you've got to stop.
Also, do you know what they're about to say, Stanz? Do you know what the actual thing?
It's a subscription service. It's, hey, we're not going to upload on YouTube anymore. You pay I believe it's $6 a month, and that's the only way to watch our videos. And
yeah, it's crazy to go through this to be like, hey, I hope you follow us for the ride as long as you're paying us money for the content that was free. Like, what the fuck?
Because the ride with this video, this 8 minutes and 45 seconds, the next statement could be like, hey, our shows aren't going to have as much polish. We're letting go of some people, but we're still going to keep making what we're making. We hope you trust us and believe in us. And it's like, oh, wait, okay, cool. I got it, but not the whole subscription service.
Yeah. I mean, we're not even there yet, so let's let's
let them say it from the horse's mouth. And again, I don't know these people, but man, I'm getting whiplash from like what they think is going to happen and what is actually happening.
2, our very own independent streaming service, Watcher. Watcher is an ad-free, independent streaming service dedicated to providing you guys the television caliber content that you know and love. But you're probably wondering, how is it going to be different than the YouTube experience?
There won't be one. There won't be a YouTube experience, right?
Yeah, not only will it not be different because all they're doing is just taking the same shows that they would be doing, but only putting them on this, but it's crazy for them to say the TV caliber content that you know and love. Yeah. When the last couple of seasons of the overly produced stuff, people have been like, dude, we don't want this. This is not, as fans, we want it to be just you guys goofing. We don't want any of this.
Can I be contrarian for 1 second? Can I turn?
You always are. Go ahead.
I kind of like it. Yeah, ad-free. Ad-free is sick. At a certain point, I'm like, this is cool. I do like ad-free. I like the thought that they can just make a thing and I don't have to watch a fucking bounty ad in the middle of it, you know?
It's worth maybe mentioning at this point as well, they have a Patreon. That already exists. So this isn't instead of.
Wait, what do you get with the Patreon?
You get just a podcast. They've been changing a lot of stuff around over the last couple of days because like since this video has gone out.
Sure.
So it was initially you'd get things up early.
Got it.
That's definitely I think changed since because of updates, but we'll get there. We're jumping ahead.
High quality series in season form, beautifully organized, ad-free. It's what we were destined to be.
First of all, bigger and better content.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited to improve.
Dude, here's the red flags that are blaring and the alarm bells in my head when I hear this is like the second their content gets any bigger, they're just going to start adding ads. They're just going to put ads in there. They're going to put them on the website. They're going to put them in the videos and they're going to be like, hey, it costs a lot to rent an island for this video. So thank you to our sponsor, Raid Shadow Legends. That's just how it's going to go.
Files.
Even if they don't, though, the fact that they're saying like, "Oh, we were going to make bigger and better content," it's like,
again, people, no one's asking.
Who are you making this for, bro? No one's asking for the bigger and better. They want what you're doing, but not paid for. And I also think it's fine to do something for yourself. Like if they want to do it, they can. They just keep on mentioning you guys really like this stuff, and you guys really want it to be bigger and better. It's like, no, dude, do it for you if you want.
I'm also controversial Stanz take number 2. I think like freemium, like free with ads is kind of cool because then people can see your shit. Like there was a time when the only way to watch shit was to like buy cable or to like go to a movie. I think the fact that I can watch people do something and it's free and I just watch an ad, like I'm down.
The advent of this streamer has allowed me to bring the gang back together.
That's true.
Adam,
your pals.
Andrew, the old friends from Worth It, and we're going to be launching the spiritual successor, which is going to be called Travel Season.
Worth It's back.
Steven again?
So this is another controversial point, Stanz, because after they've been saying it costs a lot of money to make these shows, they then bring back the most expensive show that is literally just, we'll try an expensive thing. We'll go and eat an expensive thing. We'll drive an expensive thing.
Oh, come on. Critics, people love this show. It's good. It's a good show.
I think you like the show, so you're thinking like that. No one watching Watcher gives a shit about this. Actually, you'll see later that I'm not just randomly making that up.
Right, this is not your opinion. Yeah.
As you know, as I've said at the start, I had no idea who any of the fuck of these people were. So I've learned over all of this over like the last couple of days, and trust me when this is like, what the hell's happening? We don't actually, like, some people would be happy about this show, but I don't think the people that are subscribed to Watcher care about this show.
I'm going to tell you that these two people aren't happy. Did you hear the question? He asked them, like, are you excited to make content with him again? And he goes, I swear to God, listen to this. Listen to what he said.
Are you excited to work with Steven again?
Yeah. After
yeah, maybe. Bro, he doesn't give a shit either.
It's from the edit as well. They cut out a bunch of dead air.
Yeah,
it was like,
and he
are you
kinda shakes
excited?
his shoulders
And he had to sit and think about it for a long time before
He
he
did,
ended up
and he's
with,
like looking. He's looking at the camera. I'm telling you, it's like, oh, do I have to say yes?
Neither of them are smiling.
Yeah,
He's so unhappy.
This guy looks like he's supposed to be an American Gothic. He's like living in the Dust Bowl, bro. He's
And, you know, we get to maybe bring back a little blue guy.
When it comes down to it, end of the day, why not? That should be our slogan. Why not?
I mean, yeah, I imagine he'll pop in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't get that bit. Because
Yes, super fans,
like,
step up.
We'll bring back the puppet.
Yeah.
When you go on Watcher and you go on the most viewed videos, like the 5th or 6th or whatever is, like, if it's not Ghost Files, it's that puppet.
Yeah, he's here. Puppet history.
The reason that they stopped doing it wasn't because it was popular or it wasn't popular or it didn't do well. They just stopped doing it. So if they're going to bring him back because of the streamer, they're just using that. They could just bring him back now. It would do better on YouTube.
Did they lose the license
weird.
for the puppet? How come they stopped doing puppet stuff? Wait, I'm actually losing it.
It's just so weird that they would add that on as though, like, now that they're doing the streamer, they can bring the puppet back. It's like, no, well, you could bring it back now. It would do really well on YouTube. It's so weird.
Yeah, I think it would do great. That is wild. Yeah, you know, we kind of glazed over the fact that they have a Patreon. Can you tell me how much they were making on Patreon? Do they have a visible number?
Oh, it's like 6,000 patrons between like $5 to $20 a month.
So they don't mention Patreon in the beginning of this video at all, but when they talk about not being beholden to advertisers, like Patreon is that solution. And so they're trying to double dip here. They're trying to not be beholden to advertisers through Patreon and also not be beholden to advertisers through their new platform and also eventually be beholden to advertisers because they will put ads on their videos again. And I've never been more sure about anything in my entire life.
It's more that like they get multi-million views on their videos.
Yeah.
They're like they make very long videos as well, so the ad revenue's got to be good, and they get sponsors, and they have a Patreon, and now they're like, you know what? We're just gonna put it all behind a paywall. It just does seem a little bit fucking cuckoo.
Man, thinking about that gulp, I'm scared. I will dream about that.
You'll still occasionally see us on YouTube. We're gonna post trailers for our shows there.
You'll see ads. You'll still see us on YouTube. We're promoting the thing you have to pay money to see. And I will say it worse because I watched a lot of like episodes of Dropout shows on YouTube, and I was like, well, I want to watch more, and then I went and subscribed to Dropout. So like they are following a model that has been successful.
I think that is a good point because no one's fucking hating Dropout. No one's cringing them for doing this similar thing. I think the difference is like taking content that was already free and putting that all behind a paywall and giving no content for people for free is very different than like starting a thing and being like, this is all paid for, this is all a subscription service, right?
Yeah.
Like if you are already giving someone something for free and then you change that up, that's when people will have an issue with it.
And as you mentioned, people aren't necessarily asking for higher production values. They haven't said it in this half of the video as much as they did in the first, the TV level production, TV level production, TV level production. But it's like, people just want to watch them goofing around with their friends. Stop hiring people. Stop building intricate sets. Like, let's just do the thing.
Steven, talk about money.
Yeah, what's that?
That's, dude, I swear to God, Ludwig has said that to Kelby in meetings.
This part is probably the like most controversial and the bit that got the most hate.
Really? Because to me, it was the first 3 minutes where they try and emotionally manipulate me.
Yeah.
You can become a member of Watcher for $5.99 a month or $59.99 a year.
We want to keep the price low enough where anybody and everybody is able to afford it, but it also has to support the things that we do here. So that was the number that just made the most sense for the streamer.
And look, you don't.
So
you can-
that was the line that people really don't like.
Low enough where anybody and everybody is able to afford it, but
That's
it
the
also
line,
has to
Stan.
support.
Anybody and
The
everybody.
price low enough where
Yeah.
anybody and everybody can afford it, which
Yeah.
obviously I don't think they intended it as
Does
like
mean I can
literally
keep
everybody,
watching
but
content.
damn does it
I
feel
can't sub
tone deaf and
twice in a
cringe
month.
to say that, especially when your content was free before, right?
Yeah. Is there a number in your mind? This is just between you and me, where you think that is true. If they said it was $1 a month, would you be like, honestly, fuck it, they're right?
I don't think there is a dollar amount that anybody and everybody can afford for like this kind of content, right? Like in an age where there's so many subscriptions and you're comparing paying that amount of money versus like Netflix that has like every single movie ever is like, well, I'm gonna choose Netflix over this. There's no way that I could afford that.
Yeah.
And like I think that's the difference, right? Is that paying for content just in general, like a good majority of people aren't willing to do. So saying and probably can't do, right? They don't have it in their budget because they have to eat and live, and like they were happily watching things for free on YouTube, and now they just don't have that option.
Yeah, it does suck to have your toy taken away from you. It's crazy. It is crazy.
It goes, and then to have it taken away, and then someone say, everyone could afford this though, and you're like, well, I can't. What the fuck? So
True.
That was the biggest, one of the big points of contention from this video. This next line is really funny because it feels like the other two people on the couch are like, he shouldn't have said that, and Shane just fucking says it anyway.
And look, you can share it, you know, with your friends. What are we gonna do?
Keep your eyes glued
What
on
are we
all
gonna
Marshall.
do?
That's based, dude. Hell
It is
yeah.
very based.
In all seriousness, we really couldn't be more excited for you guys to join us on this next chapter. Hopefully, we'd love for you guys to come along with us. But at the same time, this is our final goodbye to YouTube. And you know, if it's our goodbye,
Yeah, the thing is, I know it's not because they put out another video. Sorry, I'm not trying to laugh, but it's like the way that this is going to end, knowing there's a second video, is so funny.
Your viewership has allowed us to do all these wonderful things that we've done these past 4 years, and we hope that you'll come along for the ride.
What a kick in the dick, dude. I'm not like a long-term viewer, but man, that's so shitty. Hey, what you've done for us has allowed us to do this, and now it's over. We're pulling up the ladder. It's just crazy.
but either way, it's been fun. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Steven didn't say thank you. Write that down. Write that down. Write that down. Write that down.
The
That's
internet
big.
wrote that down, Stanz. So, Stanz, as
Yeah.
you might think, the internet was not happy. Here is just a small handful of tweets I could find not being happy about this. And they didn't mince their words.
From Frokleys. Listen, I love Watcher and the content they put out, but respectfully, get over yourselves. I don't think your audience of broke college students is going to pay for another subscription service just to watch content they've been getting for free for years. Horrible move. Separating myself from Watcher and the Ghoul Boys is devastating, but I'm not messing with this BS subscription plan from hell.
I am processing the most triggering breakup I've had in 9 years. I am processing.
I have never seen that before, that like reaction.
Yeah.
TikTok
It's that person.
meme.
They made this for TikTok. Are you kidding me?
It's so fucking sick. I need to use that everywhere.
This is how I'm going to fire Cants one day. I'm going to send him this.
No!
Guess they should change their name from Watcher to Watched, because as much as I love them, I am not going to be paying a subscription to watch their content. This person thought they cooked. I already posted about this, but I just wanted to share that they, in the middle of revealing they're charging fans to watch their content, they announced they're bringing back a show where their now CEO goes on expensive trips and eats luxurious food around the world. This is, I'll say it, the thing that I am least mad about. I feel like the show is good. I know that their fans maybe don't care about that show, Worth It, but I thought the show was good.
So, as you've seen, Stans, people specifically kind of have it out for Stephen Lim.
Yes.
At first, I thought it was maybe because he was the guy that mentioned the price.
Said the price
Like,
thing.
yeah, like both Shane and Ryan were like,
well, because
hey,
the other
over
guy
to
was like,
you about the
steal our
price."
content, steal it. And so everyone's like, well, he must be based.
Maybe people are hating him because of that. A couple of tweets cooking him about price-related things.
Stephen Lim at Watcher HQ last week. Food, $200. Data, $150. Rent, $800. A new show where I get to eat the most expensive food in the world, $36,000. Utility, $150. Someone who's good at the economy, please help me budget this. My family's dying.
Which is just funny. I'm like, sure, everyone's hating on the guy, but that one's kind of funny.
Yeah, that one's kind of funny. Stephen Lim's post about Watcher subscription price, stop being poor.
But then I saw, they said post, and I was like, well, I mean, they could be talking about the YouTube video, but...
Yeah.
Then I scrolled and realized he's left some comments on, I think, Instagram. Uh-oh.
Oh, no,
Scroll down.
Steven. I gave everything I had to YouTube over the past 12 years, but it's finally time to say goodbye. Today marks the day we officially moved to our independent streaming platform, Watcher. For those who won't be joining us on this next chapter, thank you all for your love and support. I wouldn't be here without you. And for those who want to continue watching, you can become a member of our streaming service at watchertv.com to access everything in there. Jesus Christ, dude.
Which, like, you understand the sentiment, but
don't use this for an ad. Just say, I totally understand. I'm sorry, like, it's just...
but also to use the phrasing of, if you want to come and join us, as though it's a choice that, like... Oh, people are just choosing not to pay, not that they might not have the money to be able to pay, or that they just don't want to pay for it, which is also perfectly fine.
Right.
It feels like guilting those people into paying rather than like actually addressing the issue.
Completely agree. Stephen Lim right now, after everyone is saying the quiet part out loud about how the only reason we look at Watcher's content is because of Ryan and Shane and not the elaborate sets or golden crusted salmon or whatever the fuck he eats on camera.
From what I could gather, the general consensus was that everyone was there for Shane and Ryan, basically, and Steven was a new addition, who was the person that talked about money in the video, who also, he does mainly work behind the scenes and is less on camera, but is now bringing back this show where they do expensive shit, also while asking for more money, and like expanding the offices behind the scenes and hiring more people. I think he's like the person that has been spurring all this on. This comment, I think, sums up what the sentiment is that I've seen online.
With all due respect, Steven, we joined and followed, watched for Shane, Madej, and Ryan Bergara. We didn't care about how fancy the background was. We cared about the entertaining conversations about spooky topics and silly jokes. No one cares about you eating expensive food because everyone and their mother makes content like that on YouTube for free. And now you're making it one of the forefront series on a paid service.
Whether you agree with it or not, that was like the main issue that most people had with everything that was happening with their paid service. All of the pitchforks on the internet were aimed towards Steven until Shane's fiance spoke up, Stanz.
No, Shane, get down!
No one cared about Shane, and then Shane's fiance comes out, and the pitchforks are now pointed the other way.
Really not trying to be an ass to Sarah, but framing this as Watcher just wanting to make a survivable living is kind of slimy. Watcher makes a fuckload of money. You all live very comfortably. Watcher is a 3 million sub channel with millions of views, not a tiny indie studio. Because Sarah said, check out watchertv.com. I get people don't like to pay for things that were once free, but paying people fairly and making a survivable living while making cool things is hard, even with ads. I think what the fellas are cooking up will be well worth it, to be honest. Man, that's a pretty chill post, to be honest.
I've realized that this version doesn't have the hashtag.
Oh, the slurs. Her hashtag was like,
yeah, the
fuck
hashtag
these
was
people.
full of slurs.
Yeah.
The hashtag was, I think it was something like, they're not making Mr. Beast loads of money, okay? Or something like kind of like sassy.
Yeah, don't try and fucking shift the blame. I do think this
but
tweet's
still,
kind of...
I agree. This isn't that bad, right? This is fine. But it was more that like there's an
more than
angry
fine. Wait,
mob.
this is maybe commendable, right? It's like, hey, we want to pay people fairly. Like, there's a lot of stuff that's really good in here.
It was just that there's an angry mob pointing one direction, and then she was like, hey, don't point that way. And then they were like, no, we're going to point this way then, and we're going to attack you.
Yeah.
But regardless of who it is to blame, the internet was waiting for a response.
I am fucking itching for the Watcher response, dude. I need to know what their response is to every single viewer going, this is fucking stupid, and their 50,000 subscriber loss in 24 hours. I would sacrifice my foot to be a fly on the office wall, man. Please, what were they thinking? Knowing that they put out a video but not knowing what's in it, I'm gonna assume that they completely walk it back.
Well, you ready to find out?
I'm ready to find out.
An update is their most recent video.
They put
lot of these
the
spoke out.
one who was the most based in the middle, and I think that's on purpose. They were like,
it's
"You guys
very
like this guy?"
interesting that they changed seats, right? You'd think
Yeah.
they'd keep the same seats, otherwise it would be like for a reason. I don't know. It's just something. Write that one down. Just keep a note. Of it.
Interesting.
Chat's saying, can you do body language analysis really quick for us, Stanz?
Oh, this is a classic. Number one, if you don't want to see something bad, close your eyes. That's a classic. You know what I mean? I've done this. I've gone under the covers. I've closed my eyes. If you cannot see
don't
it,
think
it is
that
not
counts because that's not he's not permanently got his.
He does. He doesn't open them. He doesn't open them for the whole video. What else am I noticing? A lean back slouch. Ooh, this is not a confident position, but I will say, and let me switch to the green, this upright posture. Hands clasped as if in partnership, not hands wringing as if in turmoil. And firm eye contact. I honestly think that we could be seeing something here. We could really be seeing something here. Ladies and gentlemen, let us continue.
We messed up. A lot of you spoke out with extremely valid comments and concerns, and we want to take the time.
So's barking because she understands they did.
She's like, that's not true. That's not true. He's like,
We understand where you're coming from, and we're making immediate changes.
First, we want to affirm that you are the reason why we've been able to do anything at this company. You helped us every step of the way when we left BuzzFeed to start Watcher at the top of the pandemic in 2020.
You've supported us in so many ways by watching our content, attending our live shows, buying our merch, becoming members of our Patreon, and giving words of encouragement.
Now they mention the Patreon.
And we are incredibly grateful for your support.
We're sorry for how we originally delivered our goodbye message to YouTube. It was insensitive. We didn't properly express how much we appreciate all of you.
Okay, sorry, I'm lost. What? I thought they said they understood this. This is not about being insensitive in their goodbye message. It's about the thing that they are doing, right?
Yeah, I think in this video they are addressing each point individually.
Okay.
So they're starting with, "We're sorry we
Right.
didn't appreciate you guys."
I feel like you should address the thing and then say, and also the way we talked about it was bad, not like, oh, the way we framed this was really bad. It makes it like a marketing issue.
I agree, but I think it's more
Fair enough.
semantics than like their actual what they want to say.
Got
They're still going to say the right things. We just need to give them time.
We also want to deeply apologize for our ignorance around the impact of the cost.
That one's on him. And I honestly think they
it's
boomed
funny
him.
they made him say that
fucking
after making
boomed
him
for
say
that.
the other one.
Yeah, come on, dude. You made him say the $60.
And implying that it's a price that anybody can afford, and we fully acknowledge that it is not. We didn't take the proper consideration for how this cost would affect you.
Also, him
and hope
saying
you know
we about those things, I know clearly they all like agree with what everyone's saying,
they're
but it is
company,
funny that he's like, we said that everyone could afford this, and
Yeah.
we are very sorry. It's like,
I like
the
them
internet
standing
ain't talking
firm
about the other two, though.
Yeah. I think it kind of sucks that like they all made this decision together, presumably. I don't know the inner workings of it. And not only does everyone hate him, but everyone took the opportunity to be like, we don't even like you, buddy. We only like the other
Yeah.
two. And he's
It
like, wait,
feels
what?
so bad. It
Yeah,
does.
that does suck. That does suck.
that we are taking this as a serious learning experience. With that in mind, we're making some changes to ensure
It's been a while since we've done Stanzy PR, but man, I feel like all of these people could use me. I could punch this script up, even the apology. Not only the
Hey,
first
they said
thing,
the hiring.
the second thing. It's just crazy. Like, what are you saying? You're not a business. You're a human being.
If you want to watch our shows early and ad-free, you can catch them on the Watcher platform a month earlier.
Okay.
After that, you'll be able to watch our shows on YouTube for free. For those that have already subscribed to the platform, we are so grateful for your support. But if this change has you rethinking your membership, we will issue a full refund. And all past episodes and series will remain available on YouTube.
How come that guy gets all the goated lines? I would actually be pissed.
Because everyone loves him.
Yeah, but they should try and use that. Make him say the bad stuff because people
Yeah.
love him. Yeah, it's
Actually true, yeah.
Yeah.
Also, I think you're right. If they'd led with that, this video feels so much more goated, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
if they lead with the fact that we're making things free and now refunding everyone if you want it refunded, right? That's that's perfect.
And in the meantime, we are forever grateful to all of the people who make up our community.
Dude, I love mistake with a music backing track and then apology without music. I just think it's so funny.
And we hope that you consider joining us in this next chapter of our journey, whether that's on YouTube or on the platform.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
Ooh, that's so funny. Nice. I love a nice quick one.
Opinions on this, Stanz. 'Cause
Yeah.
You sound conflicted, and I felt good after watching that. I was like, oh, they did the thing.
Yeah, I think that I was most upset about the order in which they addressed things, but maybe I am just not Twitter pilled. Because I think first and foremost, you want to go into it and not only say like we messed up in our delivery or the tone, and say that we messed up in our evaluation of everything. You should like own up to the macro sense and then say not only do we mess up in that, but we further went on to mess up in this because of that, or like after the fact, right? So I think
agree.
that
I think their like motive was to apologize to the fans, to be like, we do appreciate you. That's why they led with it. But I think optics wise, it feels like they fucking the elephant was fucking huge and right there in the room, and they didn't address it for like a while. So.
Yeah, it feels like to me, it comes off as patronizing the first minute of like, oh, sweetie, you just don't get big business. We're trying to pay people. Oh, do we say it wrong? Sorry, but we're like kind of smart and we're trying to make this work for us. And then I'm like, oh, excuse? And then they do mention like, actually, this was also a bad idea. It's like, oh, then why didn't you say that first?
This, I feel like, was maybe a better response that they could have made, honestly.
I fucked up. I fucked up.
So, the internet, we're actually happy about this update for once. We have happy tweet stands. People
I
not
love
hating
that.
Steven.
Dude, it's too late though. I feel like if I was Steven, I would cry. I would be crying. Like I would be so sad that like, oh man,
to be clear, no one's going, we love Steven. We're praise be to Steven.
Well, yeah,
It's
but they
more like-
they already said like we actually fucking hated Steven this whole time, and you can't
Yeah,
can't
it
repackage
sucks.
that.
You can't
That's
go
already
back.
been opened.
No.
Yeah. They apologized for how they delivered the news and for the minimal explanation of why they were making the change. Content will be available for free on YouTube a month after being uploaded on Watcher TV, and they expressed how grateful they are for the fans.
I agree. I genuinely think that they have done the thing that they should have done originally that makes everything okay.
A second set of 3 male ex-BuzzFeed employees on a couch responding to chaos was at the World Trade Center. I'm sorry, were the Try Guys ex-BuzzFeed?
Yeah, they were like the
so
first ex-BuzzFeed.
You know what? I was so angry when Watcher announced their paywall, but they have listened. Dude, are these Steven puppet accounts, by the way? I'm never. I'm so
And that
not
Steven
used
guy
to the
seems
internet.
kind of hot and cool, and I wish I could suck his cock.
It's crazy how fast this turned around. 'Cause it's like, oh, and also 4 views in, this person's crazy. You know what? I was so angry when Watcher announced their paywall, but they've listened. And me, personally, I feel okay with this compromise. And I'm okay with watching episodes late if it means I can keep watching them for free. This is the guy's wife on a fucking puppet account.
Yeah, it is wild.
They went on to say, I also appreciate Shane and Ryan's, because I don't really care about Steven's sorry, ability to address what they've done wrong. Listen to their fans' criticism, and then learn and adjust the Watcher subscription plan to make it more accessible, plus give fans the ability to watch their content for free.
You didn't have to read that one, bro.
They wrote it. They
You
wrote
do
it.
Steven like this.
What do you
It's
want from me?
crazy.
That's how it goes. That's how it goes. They wrote it.
And we're gonna end this video, Stanz,
Sure.
with your best friend made a funny little skit about it.
Oh.
What up, fam squad? We've got some big news for you. I am proud to announce Jax Films Plus Unlimited. For just 10 tiny little dollars a week, you can stream brand new Jax Films videos that used to be free. I see this as an absolute win that will in no way impact my likability. So we messed.
Sorry, was this about Watcher? Did he make this before? Okay, 4 hours ago. Sorry. This is so true to everyone who's done this that I thought it was like universal.
This could be cookie cutter.
Yes,
right?
exactly. I thought it was cookie cutter. If this
this
said 8 months ago, this would have slayed me.
Yeah, we did not think that you would be such pussies about this. And now it's money. Give me money.
money.
Money. Give me money. All your subs are money.
And that's it. That's the whole watch situation, Stands. For like
What
the
a
end of the
bunch
video.
of goofballs. I would feel very bad if I was Steven, and I'm glad they walked it back.
Base. Let's go.